This is the second part of Pre-Cal 11 Lesson 1.2 on square roots. So all positive numbers have two square roots. So let's start with what a square root is. A square root is the number that you multiply by itself to get the number you're starting with. So if you're starting with 4, you can multiply 2 times 2 to get 4, or you can multiply -2 times -2 to get 4. So there is a positive and negative. What we call the principal square root.
Sorry, interruption. Grade 10 students last names F through J. That's grade 10 students last names F through J. Please head to the small gym for student photos.
What we call the principal square root is what we actually denote with that square root symbol. This one here, and that's just the positive one. Okay, so that's really important. A perfect square has rational roots. And actually, when we talk about perfect squares, we're usually talking about integers that have rational roots. So for example, 4, 9, 16, 25, those are what we think of perfect squares. The other integers have they're non-perfect squares, and they have irrational numbers. So for example, the square root of 17. There's the positive root of 17 and the negative root of 17. Okay, and being able to do this using mental math is important. And so you should have all of these numbers over here on this table memorized, and we're going to work through some examples really quickly. So for these examples here, we're going to estimate it mentally using to the nearest whole number. So square root of 46, well, 46 is over here, but actually here, if I do, I do a table, sorry, I've just had to hook this new pen up. Okay, if this is my x, the square root of x, okay, so the square root of 16 is 4, square root, and this is the principal or positive square root is 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so 46 is between 36 and 49, and it's closer to 7, so we would estimate the square root of 46 as about 7. And then we would take our calculator. And we use the square root button on that. So we go square root of 46 is 6.7823 ... which we would round to 7. So that's a reasonable approximation if we are talking just to one decimal place. Okay, whoops. The square root of -5, well, 5 is up here between 4 and 9, so the square root of that, square root of 4 is 2, and the square root of 9 is 3, and it's going to be closer to the 2. So we would approximate that as -2, because the square root of 5 we're approximating is 2, and then there's that negative in front of it. And if we use our calculator for that, we get -2.236, blah, blah, blah. So that's approximately -2, so that's all right. You doing it to one decimal is not usually very useful, but that's what they're asking us for.